in a small rural county, and we haven't had any deaths. We've had some cases of COVID-19, but for the first time today, a close friend of mine, her granddaughter, her adult granddaughter, mother of two children, is in the hospital with COVID-19. And this has brought it home to me. We've been like in kind of protective bubble here in Tuolumne County, and now the protective bubble has burst because somebody that, and it's not all about me, obviously, but somebody I care about quite deeply is now in danger of losing her granddaughter. I'm going to be hopeful that she's going to make it through this. But what it's made me realize is I really need to come out strongly about what I've discovered and what I understand about a ketogenic diet. Whether your ketogenic diet is whether you start with no sugar, no grains, no vegetable oils, whether you're going ketogenic, which is 20 grams of carbohydrate or less per day, or where you're going all the way to carnivore or animal-based keto, that we do have evidence that it reduces inflammation and that it supports the immune system. Now, of course, I'm just a person. I've given up my personal training certification. I've given up my fitness certification, my nutrition certification, because unless you're a registered dietitian or a medical doctor, you can't create food plans for people anyway. And as a certified nutrition specialist, the only thing that I was really allowed to do was direct people toward the USDA website and tell them to get their diet there. And the problem is that the new guidelines are coming out, the USDA guidelines as to what we should be eating, and it's still a bunch of grains, and it's still a bunch of carbohydrates, and still limitations on things like saturated fat. So what are we going to do? We have to respond with evidence. So what I have here is one of my favorite studies, which is long-term effects of a ketogenic diet, not just 2 weeks or 2 months, but more than a year. And this was a 24-week ketogenic diet, and there's another really good study out there that's more than 52 weeks, and this was 30 grams of carbohydrate. I just want to read you the results if you don't mind. The weight and body mass index of the patients decreased significantly. The level of total cholesterol decreased from week 1 to week 24. HDL levels significantly increased, whereas LDL cholesterol levels significantly decreased after treatment. The level of triglycerides, so important, decreased significantly following 24 weeks of treatment. And the level of blood glucose significantly decreased. The changes in the level of urea and creatinine were not statistically significant. So this is so important. This is a long-term ketogenic approach. Body mass decreased, cholesterol numbers became ideal. Of course, we don't even want to get started on LDL right now, but I think we can all agree that when HDL comes up and triglycerides go down, that's a good thing. And when blood glucose goes down, that's a good thing. One of the things that we are seeing in the reports coming back from the CDC, from Johns Hopkins, what I read in the Journal of the American Medical Association, is that high blood pressure, metabolic syndrome, obesity, diabetes, these are all things that are placing people at risk for going into the hospital with COVID-19 and not coming out. So it is so important for all of us in this community to express what's going on. I have been following a ketogenic nutritional approach since 2008, and I have the big before picture. Oh, it's the bikini picture of 2008, and there it is. Oh my gosh, look at that in the white bikini. And the thing about this picture, 2008, this shot, I had already lost over 30 pounds when this picture was taken. So I had already lost a great deal of weight, but I hadn't overcome overweight and obesity. So let me show you the after. Woohoo! Da da da. And actually, I got even leaner than this, and there it is. That's the same bikini. And the thing that I really want you to notice is my waistline, how much has come off of my waist. And that was, this was probably about 6 months in between those, and a good 4 or 5 inches came off of my waist, which is an incredible indicator of metabolic health. So let me show them to you side by side as I back up. The before and afters. There's the before and there's the after. There it is. Can you see them? There they are. And so I'm going to do woo, 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 And that is the same bikini, and I actually have that same bikini. Now, full disclosure. Oh my goodness. So when I quit my fitness studio back in 2016, and then completely left the fitness industry over a year ago, I have not been training the way I used to train. One of the reasons I left the fitness industry, because what I discovered is that I could not keep up my training and train other people. I know, it's a paradox. And then once we've been under social distancing, I haven't been going to the gym. And I am one of those people that, I don't know, probably my ego, narcissism, I don't know what it is. But it's like I have to get to the gym in order to train at the kind of intensity that is going to have that, positive effect on my body. So what I have been doing is I've been doing this 6-week fitness challenge, and I've been doing my training on the Cardio Freedom channel on Facebook. And my email, Catherine@cardiofreedom.com. If you want to get on that group, you want me to send you a link, just email me. So the transformation contest, I didn't really push for it because there's a part of me that's kind of reluctant about running a contest right now under these circumstances. So I only put up one video, but one of my best clients, Sandra, I love you, Sandra, she emailed me and it's like, so when is this fitness contest starting? So looks like Sandra's the winner. I'm gonna go ahead and be giving her the $100 Amazon gift card. I didn't feel like, I used to do these transformation contests that had larger cash prizes. I transformed my body in a contest for a $2,000 cash prize, and it really made a difference. But just something, I don't feel like transformation for money right now is really the thing that we're going after under these circumstances. But the bottom line is that every other day I'm on that Facebook channel doing a training session, lifting weights, and knowing that I'm going to be on camera and that I'm going to be lifting weights does give me a little bit more incentive to do a good job on my training. So when this video goes up, I'll go ahead and put a link to this study so you can read it. See, we've got that. Things are getting loose, you guys. We got to get them tight again, and we can do this and then never let them get loose again. And also, I was back looking at some other pictures when I was doing keto gains, and I was doing a 5-day split. And this was only 3 years ago, and I was like lean and tight. But what happened, I went in and I got some dental work done. And because of my sugar addiction and glucose addiction that started way back when I was just a child, I've had some issues with my teeth, with periodontal disease. And when I had that work done, I had to have a course of antibiotics, and then I had to eat soft foods for 3 days. And I kind of did not continue to follow that program. Also, the Keto Gains Challenge that I was doing, great respect for Luis Villaseñor, who was the coach, but there was a requirement. My calories got reduced really low to less than 1,000 calories a day. And at that point, things just fell apart. And one of the things that I've realized is that no matter how cut I want to get or how ripped I want to get, I cannot starve myself or get to a point where I'm going below the amount of food that I need to stay nourished and satisfied. So what is my current plan? I am currently wanting to get back to a leaner weight. So for me, that doesn't mean necessarily eating less fat. It actually means pulling out the ketogenic carbohydrates. So less broccoli and asparagus and salads and things like that, and going more to what I call AB keto, animal-based keto diet, which is usually, I'll give you my usual menu, couple of eggs and some meat in the morning, couple of eggs and some meat at noon, and then that's it. I'm doing intermittent fasting for the rest of the day. It is so urgent at this time that those of us who have overcome obesity, who are in recovery from sugar addiction, we've got to start telling people the truth, no matter the cost. One of my problems is I'm kind of like an approval addict. I want people to like me and say, oh, good job, Catherine, and you would never hurt anybody, and you're doing everything right. Well, the problem is that when the reality of how to overcome obesity is so different from what we're seeing in the guidelines, at some point people have got to stand up and say, hey, I lost 70 pounds, I overcame obesity, and I didn't do any of the things that they said. They tell you to eat less and move more. I actually ate more of the right food, did less of the wrong kinds of exercise, and did more weightlifting. Thank you for watching this. Please like and share, especially if you have a friend who's dealing with metabolic syndrome, with obesity. If it's you, please, I'm going to post this study. The protocol is out there. All you really have to do. Oh, thank you. So you overcame your food issues. I'm so glad. Did you overcome your food issues by kind of letting go of those foods that were driving you crazy? It's good to overcome food issues. So anyway, I will post this study. The bottom line is, to get started, I had to give up sugar and grains, processed vegetable and seed oils. Then I moved to keto, 20 grams of carbohydrate or less a day. And then finally, after menopause, I moved to an animal-based ketogenic strategy, which was pretty much it's eggs, meat, heavy cream, a little bit of stevia, and fish, chicken, poultry. When things get better, I'm just gonna leave my glasses on. Oh, good. So keto and low carb, exactly, and it's working. And I think the most important thing before I sign off today is this understanding that there does appear to be a connection between what we eat, metabolic syndrome, and difficulties dealing with the beast, the terrible virus right now. And so it's good to get the message out. All right, so this is my live stream. I'm going to make a regular video with the before, whoops, no, that's the after. The before, and the after, yay, for inspiration, motivation, for transformation. All right, everybody. Take care. I'll see you back here on the Sugar Freedom Channel.